Welcome to the National Children's Prayer Congress virtual prayer tour. During the week of May 3rd through the 7th, we will be posting on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, prayers and speeches sent in by participating schools, families, and churches from across the nation. The chaplains of the U.S. House and Senate and a congressman will also be addressing our delegates by video. As you discovered from your study guide, our lessons about godly virtue utilize the book Little Pilgrim's Progress by Helen Taylor, an adaptation of John Bunyan's book Pilgrim's Progress.
Now the story of Little Pilgrim's Progress begins in the city of destruction and introduces us to a young man named Christian who is carrying a great heavy burden, which makes him very tired. To add to his troubles, his friends often make fun of him because they did not believe his burden was real. Then Christian and his friends met visitors who had come from the celestial city. The visitors told the children to leave their city of destruction that was ruled by their wicked prince and to travel to the city of the celestial city, which was ruled by a very good king who loves children dearly. Christian believed the visitors, especially after he found an ancient book that described the city of destruction, its wicked prince, and another beautiful country far away that is ruled by a very good king. The other children laughed at Christian, saying that his book was written hundreds of years ago, so it was of no use to them now. However, Christian would not let the children's bullying, laughter, and mocking change what he believed. He eagerly replied that he wanted to journey to the celestial city, even though he did not know the way. Then he met a man called Evangelist, who pointed to the gate at the other end of the field and said, "The way to the celestial city is through that gate, and it has a light shining around it." Then he gave Christian a message from the good king written in gold and beautiful colors. It said, "I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me." Evangelist then instructed Christian to be careful, to stay on the path, and to follow the direction of the king's servants who he would meet on the way after passing through the gate.
The message given to Christian to love and seek the king, and the warning given by Evangelist for him to stay on the king's path is the same message and warning we have discovered through our examination of Psalm 119 in the study guide. What Psalm 119 clearly teaches us is that by choosing to stay on the path of virtue God has set before us, we are able to lay down our burden and live our life in a way that honors God. This path of virtue is the way that leads to a true celestial city, God's heavenly kingdom. Let's hear what Psalm 119 tells us before we look more closely at each of the virtues that make up the path that God has commanded us to follow as individuals and as a nation.
Psalm 119 tells us, "You are blessed when you stay on the course when walking steadily on the road revealed by God. You are blessed when you follow his direction, doing your best to find him. That is right. You don't go off on your own. You walk straight along the road he sets. You, God, prescribe the right way to live. Now you expect us to live it. Oh, that my steps might be steadily keeping to the course you set. Then I never have to have any regrets in comparing my life with your counsel. I thank you for speaking straight from your heart. I learn the pattern of your righteous ways. I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Don't ever walk off and leave me.
The good news is that the Bible tells us over and over again that we have God's promise that he will not ever walk off and leave us, our national leaders, or our citizens, as long as we love and seek him by choosing to stay on his virtuous path in all we say and do. Therefore, let us celebrate God's promise by hearing about each of the virtues that Christian discovered on his journey, and then pray for God to bless our nation's leaders and citizens so that they too will choose the virtuous path revealed in God's word. The same path that was prayerfully chosen by our country's founding fathers when they created our nation's Constitution as the foundation of our republic. As we venture through our prayer agenda, we will follow the same series of events we would have if you were all able to join us here in DC.